Imagination is more important than knowledge is limited, but imagination encircles the world. This is what Albert Einstein said: science is not all about the knowledge. It is also about the imagination that makes anything possible. Do you think that science is hard and boring? Science may not be something boring as you think because, as Einstein said, imagining whatever you want to is one part of the science which is significant. In that context, a complete mixture of scientific imagination, a SF movie is an important aspect in science. From now on, I will introduce the connection between sci-fi movie and the real science with a few examples divided in three categories. Let's get started. First, I will explain about the technologies used since the past. The video you're seeing now is a movie called A Trip to the Moon, which is made in 1902. It was revolutionary at the time since it was the first sci-fi movie ever made, and the idea of going to the moon was not even mentioned by people. It was enough to surprise people in the past because 1969 was the year that humanity landed on the moon for the first time, which is after 67 years later. In other words, a person who has seen this movie when they are young actually saw humans went to the moon before they died. Even at the time this movie was made, it had been so innovative. What would it be like to see that is really happening? In this movie, the main character does whatever she wants to do using internet computer, such as shopping, reserving the airplane seats, but one day all of her accounts suddenly get removed. This is what we can see in the present-day economy. When the movie is released, 1995, it was just set up the movie. However, there are almost nothing that we cannot do using this internet. Plus, it is possible only using the smartphone nowadays, such as reserving the movie tickets, entertaining, internet shopping, social networking, writing documents, live broadcasting, so on. There are so many things we can do with this internet. Next category is about the technologies already becoming real tech and used by people. We can see in the movie Frankly. It is on the movie called Minority Report and Iron Man, which is the movie that Tom Cruise and RDJ are the main character. It shows us the visual but virtual information on what we see. Nowadays, it is used as smartphone app for education or industries such as IKEA and smart glasses too. Reinforced exoskeleton is one of the materials that can see in the sci-fi movie most frequently. Let me briefly give some examples in movie. It was shown in District 9, Edge of Tomorrow, Iron Man, and Avatar, that most of us know. It is the robot system that strengthens our physical ability, as you can see in the movies. It is also used as a protection and debris remover in the field of fire, exercise aid for the disabled, elderly, work assistant for industrial workers, fire protection. Next is about the technologies that is getting the real one. In one movie, there is an item called
Hoverboard.
that is on the movie called Back to the Future. As you can see in the video, the board can float from the land. The hoverboard is loved by science fiction movie fans with this movie. The trial to make this board has been continued, and here is the most successful case that is recorded in the Guinness. book of records. It is recorded since this man made it by himself and fly 2.2 km, 50 meters above from the land. The maximum speed is 150 km per hour. Zefetin, the founder of the French sport equipment company, made a hoverboard, and the military industry is showing great interest. French and UK have already begun to develop. The principle is that the drone uses a jet engine to proper and securely balance using a system called the gyro. The following scene that you are seeing now is so famous that you might already know what's in the package. Yes, it's the invisibility cloak that we all know. It could be hard to believe, but the invisibility cloak exists in the real world too. It copies the image of surrounding environment and it manipulates the lights. That's how it works. How amazing is that? I mean, just look at them.
That's an invisibility cloak. I'm invisible.
There is another stuff has a trait gets invisible with these traits. In the movie Spider-Man Homecoming, there is an invisible jet.
Fighting my girlfriend's dad.
You can see there are pixels. If it gets more smaller, it can be seen like completely gone and realistic. Simply explain it, it is like the phone image quality increases when there are more small pixels. Like I just said, the principle of this is copying the surrounding environment. That is why you can see this video and the Spider-Man climbing the airplane. Next is human column. Human column is a really common topic to many sci-fi movies. The movie called Blade Runner, released in 1982, is also the story about the human column. In that time, no one ever believed that it's going to happen. But about 10 years later, the column shipped. First column animal, called Dolly, is born. Later on, cows, monkey, and over 20 species are columned. CRISPR gene Caesar is another method to make it real. A certain section of gene can cut so that the nature of the creature can be modified. One synthetic field project is ongoing project that making whole new artificial gene. Yet, the expertise urges that cloning the adult is hard, unlike the video shows, although they admit that it could be possible in the future. However, it also becomes the controversial topics in terms of human dignity, as the purpose of human colon is getting the fresh organ from colon human like a tool. One of the greatest sections of all time, Albert Einstein, also said, "Logic will get us from A to B. Imagination takes us everywhere." In the past, the imagination made the humanity fly in the sky. Now, it's real. And we dream higher. In the past, people stunning because in the movie, human land on the moon. People said if we can't go to the moon, there's nothing we can't do. In 1969, they did. Yes, we achieved more. That trait makes the impact more bigger. It makes other people think they imagine too. It lets us think how the real world looks like and react vividly about the new technologies. Sometimes that inspires people and become their childhood memory. Some of them try to make the things they saw and extend it real as well. Although this is not the case, it makes people think about it and inspires. Having a tons of scientific knowledge is one thing that is really important. However, imagination makes us discover and go further. And sci-fi movie is amazing format to express new ideas and various materials that come from imagination. Like this, the real science and sci-fi movies are resembling each other and growing up at the same time. I hope this video makes you feel more intimate about science with knowing the connection between sci-fi movie and real science. Thank you for listening.